Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Wednesday. Having a hard time with the days of the week. My Wednesday Facebook Live, where today we're going to be talking about how to stop your negative self-talk. So hopefully a few of you will be able to hop on and join me live. If you've never been on one of my lives before, my name's Lisa Carpenter. I'm a transformational life and nutrition coach and creator of the E program, which stands for Education, Action, and Transformation. And it's all about helping women put their hands back on the wheel of their life and take responsibility for their relationship with food and their body. I'm going to try not to fall out of my top here. Hey, Amanda, nice to see you. Glad you could catch me. And hopefully you will enjoy this. So let me just kind of settle in here. This is not quite going right. Anyways, can you hear me okay, Amanda? If you could just let me know in the comments, that would be great. I'm not super comfortable today. I think the top is going to drive me a little bit crazy. Okay. Anyways, let's dive in because I'm wasting time and you guys don't have time to waste. So first things first, how to stop negative self-talk. So our negative self-talk really gets in the way of us having the things we want, a relationship with our body that we can love. And I hear this from my clients all the time. I get that I'm supposed to love my body, but how do you do that when you don't? And it really does come down to really acknowledging that you've got a lot of stuff going on up here that isn't really being supportive of what you want for yourself. And that is your negative self-talk. Hey, Yvonne, nice to see you. So the first thing that you have to do is recognize that you have negative self-talk going on. And so often these things are happening so unconsciously, right? So in the 4 stages of learning, there's unconscious incompetence, so you don't know what you don't know. There's conscious incompetence, so now you know, but you don't really know what to do with it. Then you move into conscious competence. And then the last one is mastery or unconscious competence, where it's just automatic. You've changed things over. So you have to acknowledge what's going on. You've got to recognize that negative self-talk is always going to emphasize the negative things, so the things you don't want. I can't stand the size of my thighs. I think I look ugly today. I wish my hair looked nicer. I hate vegetables. It can be whatever, but as long as it is taking you away from what you want, right? So it's not supportive. Negative self-talk is not supportive. So you have to start paying attention to it. You have to recognize that you've got this piece of yourself that isn't super nice. It's not your inner cheerleader by any means. It's kind of like the mean girl that's hanging out with you. So first things first, you need to recognize it. Step number 2, you have to write them down. And this is where things get tricky for people, because we want to believe that just knowing about these negative voices is enough, but it's not, because up in here they just kind of run around unsupervised, popping up at inconvenient times. And in order to really change your negative ways of thinking and your negative self-talk, you actually have to get them out of your head and onto the paper. Hey Deb, nice to see you. So glad you could join me live. So we want to move you from that unconscious incompetence to the conscious incompetence phase. And that is writing it down, really owning those stories. So when I did my 10 Days of You challenge last year, one of the days was to write down some stories that you're holding about food and your body. And I want to give you some examples. And hopefully this will help you make your own list, because when you write them down, all of a sudden you own them and you're able to see them. Hey, Allie, you're able to see them for what they are, which is a bunch of BS. But something seriously happens when you put them onto paper. They look different than when they're running around unsupervised. It's like all of a sudden you see them and you're like, oh my God, how can I think that about myself? That's horrible, right? It's like you take ownership of them. So it's not a super fun exercise, but so powerful. So here's some stories that you might be looking at. And I took these right out of my 10 Days of You challenge from last year. So I'm just reading my notes, right? Because it's that 40-year-old brain thing again. So I'm not a breakfast eater. Preparation is hard and it takes too much time. Others are beautiful, but I'm not. I'm big boned. I can't buy myself clothes until I lose weight. I can't trust myself. Losing weight is hard. Keeping weight off is hard. I hate exercise. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. It takes so long. Eating healthy is too expensive. I have to make different meals for everybody. I need to track my calories to lose weight. I won't be able to eat the foods I love. Eating healthy is no fun and boring. I have to exercise to lose weight. I will have to stay home and stop socializing. I will have to live off veggies and tasteless food. I always fail. I can't do this. I don't know how to cook. My husband, my boyfriend, my friends, my kids sabotage me at every turn. I can't say no when junk food is around. I can't say no when others offer me goodies, right? These are some stories. So somewhere along the line, you pick those up as being valid and truth, and you put them in your backpack and you've been carrying them around. But we are the creators of our stories. We are the creators of our lives. And if your stories aren't serving you anymore, so if you look at your stories, if you start to write them out and you realize, wow, these really aren't serving me, they're not moving me in the direction of where I want to go, why the hell are you holding on to them so tightly? You get to rewrite them. And I get it because I've had a gazillion stories that I've had to look at, reframe, and question why they were so precious to me, why I wouldn't give them up, why I didn't want to put them down. And when I was willing to, things started to open up for me. So look at your stories. Are they empowering you? Are they empowering you to move forward to where you want to go, or are they holding you back? So for me personally, once I kind of wrote up my stories, one of my stories is that I'm an introvert. I know, shocking for a lot of you to think, what? You're not an introvert, Lisa. I actually am an introvert. I call myself an extroverted introvert. I love time by myself. Like, one of my happiest days is when everybody's out of the house. I get the whole house to myself. I love that. My bucket gets filled up when I'm spending time alone. My bucket does not get filled up when I'm in a room full of a gazillion different people and I'm supposed to be networking. So this was my story, that I was introverted. So I stopped going out to events. I didn't want to participate in anything for my business. But the truth was, I was using my introversion as a story. It was to mask the insecurities that I had, right? So I was using that story of being an introvert to not actually engage or feel empowered about getting involved in some of the things that I needed to get involved in to grow my business, right? It's kind of important that I talk to people. It's kind of important that I get to know people. So I really had to look at that story. So that's number 3. Once you write your list, you have to really look at your story and say, is this empowering me? Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Adina. Thanks for joining me. So is the story empowering you, or is it holding you back? Because I can tell you, my story of I'm an introvert was definitely holding me back. It wasn't empowering me. It wasn't empowering me. I'm fully capable of walking into a room and actually engaging with people, which comes to point number 4. Okay, claim a new story. Claim a new story. So one of my coaches actually had me write an alter ego. And I thought, well, this is stupid. I don't really want to write an alter ego. I like the person I am. Why would I want to create a new character? It wasn't about creating a new character. It was looking at the stories that I was holding to be true about myself and saying, well, what if? Who do I need to become so that I can have what I want in my life? Who do I need to become so I can have what I want in my life? So if we are the creators of our own story, if you believe that healthy eating is hard, then it's going to continue to be hard. But what if there's a fly attacking me? What if you let it be easy? What if losing weight was easy? What if you could lose weight without exercising? What if food didn't need to be complicated? What if you could look in the mirror today and say, you know what, I really love my curves. I love my curves. So I still get to be an introvert, and I also get to have the story of I can walk in a room and I can introduce myself to anybody and I'm not going to die. I can be an extroverted introvert, right? So see, I rewrote that story for myself. So it was empowering to me. So what stories do you need to write about what you're holding about food and your body? What stories do you need to rewrite? So losing weight is easy. Healthy food is delicious. My body is beautiful. Eating out is easy, and I always find healthy choices that are delicious. I'm capable of cooking and I can enjoy it. I make great decisions. I always follow through. That's a good one. I always follow through, especially if you've stumbled in the past. I can do this. I'm capable. It's easy for me to say no, and I have 100% control over my choices. Those are all new stories that you can claim. Make your own and start to create the future that you want for yourself. Create the body you want for yourself, because I guarantee you, if you're hating on your body and you're losing weight thinking, well, I'll lose weight and then I'll love my body. The truth is, if you don't start to look at your body differently now and change the story you have around it now, the story's going to be the same whether you're 20 or 30 pounds lighter. You have to look at what's going on up here, write it down on paper, decide if it's empowering you or pulling you back from where you want to be, and then start to rewrite your stories and claim them by writing them on paper and then owning them, like really owning them, in a completely different way. Live stream, right? You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes I got a kid in here singing. Sometimes I'm being attacked by a fly. So these are mantras that you can put on your phone. You can write things on your mirror. You can have reminders come up, right? Like, this is the day of electronics. My gosh, we can put reminders anywhere for ourselves. Tell yourself the story that you want to hear. You can even tap on it. So, right, EFT, a lot of people do tapping when stories come up for them, and they rewrite those stories. Throw everything at it. Because if the story that you're carrying about yourself right now is not empowering you, you need to change it. Otherwise, you're going to continue to struggle with food in your body. You're going to continue to struggle to be stuck. And you're going to continue to be a victim in your own life. So there's a great quote by Zig Ziglar. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And it's the truth. It is the truth. It is time for you to start taking an inventory and ownership of your stories. So step number 1, I'm just going to recap, is you have to acknowledge that you have negative self-talk, that it's happening. Step number 2, you have to claim those stories. You got to write them down, right? Let me just go back here. Step number 2, write them down. Step number 3, are those stories empowering you, or are they holding you back? Are they getting you closer to where you want to go, or are they making you feel small, right? You've got to become your own cheerleader. Number 4, claim a new story. What is your new story going to be? What's your new affirmation or mantra going to be? And you can poo-poo mantras all you want, but the truth is that negative self-talk that you're walking around with, that's nothing more than a mantra or an affirmation. It's just not one that you want to have. So give it a try for 30 days. Pick one new mantra. Maybe it's looking in the mirror and saying that I am beautiful, or I love my curves, or healthy eating is easy. Try it and see what happens. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. When you step into taking responsibility for what it is you want for your life, everything will start to change. So on that note, that's where we're going to wrap up. I want to remind you and invite you again to join us inside the EAT classroom. Doors close on October 15th, and after that, you're not going to be able to have access to the program until sometime in 2017. I am going to be teaching live coaching calls for 6 weeks starting on October 18th. So everybody who shows up live is going to have direct access to me to dig deeper into the content, to ask me questions, to get the support they need, so you can claim the relationship with food in your body you want. And the transformations that I see inside my classroom all the time blow my mind. Where you are today is not where you're going to be 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now. The transformation is yours for the taking, but you have to decide that you want it, that you're willing to invest in yourself, that you're willing to take a chance, try again, and walk this new path. So if you're interested in finding out more, head over to my sales page, lisacarpenter.ca/EAT, EAT, and you can find everything you need to know. If you're interested in connecting with me to see if this is going to be a right fit for you, or if you're just feeling nervous about it, maybe you're nervous about spending the money, because that is a big thing for a lot of the women in my group. They are hesitant to invest in themselves. It is a scary thing for them. Is this going to be worth it? Am I worth it? Reach out And I'm happy to hop on a quick call with you and see if you're going to be a right fit and if you're in the right kind of headspace to do this, because it is an emotional and a physical ride. There's going to be a lot of doing, right? The process of actually taking in the knowledge and becoming empowered, and a lot of the emotional mindset work that has to happen in order for you to have success. And it's talking about things just like this, how to unravel that negative self-talk. So I hope you guys found that very helpful. If it was, please share it. Sharing is caring. I always say that. I want to make sure that I come onto these lives and deliver some really solid content for you. I know you were scared to join, Amanda. And you know what? I think that pretty much every single alumni will say, oh, I was terrified to spend the money. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And every single one of them have said that it has been more than worth the investment because of the lifetime access and the community and just the magic that happens in there. I don't even know how do you put that into a sales copy? I don't know how to put that into a sales copy. So, hey, Anne from Nebraska, nice to have you here. So that is it for today. Head back, watch the replay. If you missed this live stream, like I said, sharing is caring. So please, if you found it valuable, share it with your friends and community, because you really don't know who's going to get the message that they need to hear to really make that first step to change their lives and impact their lives. So until tomorrow, and always remember to turn off your phone. Until tomorrow, Thursday, I'll be back with another topic. I was going to talk about fats. Maybe I'll talk about fats tomorrow. I really, when I deliver this content, it's really, what do I feel called to deliver in this moment? Sometimes it's about food and sometimes it's about mindset, because the truth is I can't really change your relationship with food unless you're willing to bring along a new perspective. So that's what I'm really trying to share here. So have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to connecting with you guys all on Thursday. Bye for now.